Okay, just doing a little practice here. Thought I'd throw this video up. This is kind of what I do when I try to learn a song. Fortunately, this is going to be pretty easy. It's kind of like a three-chord kind of a turnaround thing. But what I'm doing is I'm just giving an idea of how I uh, do these songs. I've got like 139 songs in my Trio Manager where I've saved them. They're uh, classic cover tunes, classic rock, country, a little bit of blues, and I actually go out and I play with this, along with this, on weekends there with my solo and duo band, and I've had lots of really good luck with it. The one secret is to get the foot switch that goes along with this, and it's a Digitech. It's a 3-button foot switch, so that it allows you to keep that on the ground, and then this pedal here, you can keep this up beside you, and so when you go to switch songs, you got 12 songs here, 12 song choices. It allows you to spin that to each song that you want to play. None of that, but it avoids wear and tear on these switches here, because I've had this quite a while, and I just used the heck out of that foot switch. I've had to actually clean that foot switch up because it got noisy, because I start and stop so much. So it just, saves this from being, just wearing these out or whatever, making them, sometimes these right here will get squeaky if you hit them, depending on how much you use it, and that gets annoying. So I got that. I got this little compressor that I just bought yesterday, and all this is going to do is it's going to increase the signal going to this. So this right here is going to hear better what I'm trying to teach it on my guitar, if that makes any sense. And it works. But what you do is keep the notes simple. You don't forget, you're just teaching this thing the basic bass lines. It'll take it from there once you teach it what you want it to do. And that's the beauty of these genre and style, because when you play a song initially, there's a good chance it's not going to be exactly what you hear in your head or what you really want it. So that's what this does. This allows you to fine tune it and get it just the way you want. And of course, anybody familiar with this, you have 5 parts that you can record on a song. And what I do is I usually use part 1 for the verse, and then I'll record the same part again on part 2, except for I'll turn it this color, the red color, which it's the same thing as part 1, but it embellishes it a little bit. It might add a ride or a crash here. It might even change the rhythm up just slightly. You don't know. Or you could just leave it green and it'll be the same rhythm as on 1, which would make sense, because that's the whole idea of going with a part 2 or 3. Kind of change the song up ever so slightly. But I usually wind up, like I said, I've got 139 songs I've saved, and out of them all, on average, I'll only use 2 parts. Sometimes I'll use part 1 for like an intro, kind of like I probably could use on this song I'm about to teach this, which, by the way, is Ron Wood's version of It's All Over Now. Stones come out with it, but Ronnie redid it. This is from 1988 on the YouTube that we're going to hear here in a second. And I hope they don't get me for copyright infringement for playing it. I'm not going to play it all. I'm just going to play like a verse. So we're only talking about a minute or so of recording. So let's see what happens. But anyway, yep, this is like on average of what I do when I'm trying to learn a song. And I'm not going to, can't really see my guitar, but you'll be able to hear it as I'm playing along. And I'm just telling you what my thoughts are when I'm doing this. So without further ado, let's give this a whirl here. One thing I will say, there's an indentation right here on this tempo button. Always make sure that's on the indentation there, 12 o'clock high, because that will mess with your tempo. And there's a couple times where I've touched that by accident, and it was either slowed down or speeded up. And when you're trying to learn different parts and you don't notice this not being straight up, it's going to wreak havoc with you, drive you nuts, trust me. These right here, I usually keep these right, I don't know, real close to that. Looper, I don't use that much. I could, if I don't like the way the bass, the built-in bass is coming out, I'll turn right around and do my own bass part. I can play bass just fine. I can hold my own with that, and then I'll just put my own bass loop in there, and then just make sure this is turned down so you can't hear the internal bass. So other than that, put it right about here to start with. This type of song I'm doing is like a rock interpretation as far as I'm concerned, but it's the starting point. So after you teach this, you're not going to get stuck with that rock version. You'll be able to flip it around and adjust to the way you want that sound to go. So okay, like I said, I'm running a foot switch, so this isn't any kind of magic. The foot switch is actually doing what you would normally do with these buttons up here. So another good thing about that foot switch is you can change parts with the tap of the foot. So if you're playing a verse and then you get ready to go into chorus, you can tap the button on the foot switch, and after this is completed, it'll jump right on over to part 2. You can do your chorus or play lead over that as long as you want, and then when you get tired of that, you hit the button again, and after it gets done with those measures, it'll seamlessly go back over here to part 1, and then you can do your verse again. So on and so on. It's the same idea with these other parts. But like I said, I don't want to get that complicated or I got to dance around on those foot switches too much. So anyway, okay. Yeah, so let's try this song here. And what I'm going to do is, he's doing an intro. He'll do an intro because it's live. I like recording live songs because you don't have a bunch of that hidden filler and stuff like that like you would with like a studio version. If you hear them live, you'll be able to really hear the guitar player. You'll be able to figure out what the bass player type of rhythm he's playing, what have you. So okay, so in this particular video, Ron Wood, it's all over now. Like I said, it's from 1988. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to let it play. He'll play the intro, he'll turn it around a couple of times, and then as soon as he comes in and starts singing, that's when I want to start recording. And then when he gets done singing, that's where I want to stop. And that would complete the measures that I need to play the verse over and over and over. So here we go. Okay, you'll see this is blinking slow. I'm going to hit my foot switch. And now I'm going to arm it right there. That means as soon as I hit a note of my guitar, it's going to start recording. So don't touch your guitar until you're ready to play. So okay, I'm going to start the song. Now I'm just going to play basic notes on my guitar because we're just trying to teach this thing the bass part. Okay, he's going to take it around again. See, this is kind of good because now you get a feel of how this song is going to go. So he's going to be singing here real shortly. Now hear that? It's not exactly the way I want to do the song. So not only that, but it seems a little slow. This recorded a little slow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this alternate time button. See that? Now it speeded it up. Now, see, I like that rock genre. And I've got it. I went from, this thing was interpreting it and in the style of 4. But I don't like that. It's too staccato. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that up 1. See how to change the drum pattern? There we go. Now I kind of like that. The song's moving right along. Okay. Okay, now I want to make a note that it's on rock, and I've decided on style number 5. So, I'll stop that. And now, I'm going to go to part 2, which would be the chorus / where you would play a lead at. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit number 2. And, yeah, it's on the rock setting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow along with this song once again, just like I did for part 1. And I'm actually, see how that's green? I'm going to turn that red. So what that's going to do, that's going to add like a little bit of a splash or alter the rhythm ever so slightly. Nope. Hang on, kitty cat. I got a kitty cat over here trying to move my camera. Yeah, so alright, we'll do this once again. And what's nice about this, when I follow this YouTube video, it's going to keep my timing good between parts 1 and part 2. You don't have to worry about a metronome or keeping the exact timing or anything, because you're just going to follow along with this song once again. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, I'm going to start the song over. And I'm going to arm this. See how that's going slow? I'm going to arm this. So now, when I hit the note, it's going to start recording. So I'm just going to start this again, because all I want to do is wait for him to start singing once again. And we'll capture that turnaround, and then we'll stop it, and we'll have another part just like we did on part 1. Remember, make sure that tempo's straight up and down. Don't fool with that. Okay, here we go. We got a rock. Remember, before is rock. Style was number 5. See here, I tried to go to 4 again. Interpret it as that, but I want to take that up. See that, how that embellishes that a little bit? Now if I was to take that out, see how that kind of makes it plain again, just a steady rhythm. See that? And what I'll do is, nice thing about my foot switch is I can hit the middle switch, and when it gets done with that measure, see, now it goes back over to part 1, and that's where you'll start singing again. And you'll sing the verse. See that, how the the rhythm calm down. And now I'll hit, at any time I can hit that middle foot switch again, and at the end of that measure, it's going to seamlessly go over to part 2. See, that means when it's blinking, that means it's armed and it's gonna be playing next. And when this highlights once, you'll know that's at the end of the measure and this is getting ready to flip. Now watch this. See that? Right there, that's telling you right now that's going over to the second part. Now see how that's kind of embellished? That way you can sit there and play some rhythm or leads or whatever, you know, do whatever you want. And then when you get done with singing the chorus or whatever, if you just hang out and play lead here, you can leave it there as long as you want. And then when you get tired of that, you can hit the middle foot switch again on the floor switch. Now see, with that blinking now, that means that's armed. So at the end of the complete measure for this will seamlessly go back over here. And you'll get a hint when this flashes bright yellow. Right, see that? Boom, see that switched over. So there you go. Now you're back to the verse again. Now you just start singing away. And then when you get done singing the verse, once again, you hit the middle switch on the foot pedal, and it'll set you back up to go over to part 2. And you can do that back and forth as much as you want. Drag that song right out. There's no easy way to stop this song, so what I do is I'll wait till you get that little fill. So, you know, here you are playing along, and I'll hit the stop button just about the time. See that? Otherwise the song would just keeps repeating itself. So there's no clean way, unless you sequence this, it will come in with an ending. Otherwise you just got to time it right, and it doesn't sound as ugly when the song just stops like that. So that's the only weakness in this. I heard Digitech is looking back into this pedal again, and I'm not sure, but they're talking about doing some updates on this, and that would be super cool if they would do that, but that's a whole different story. So there you go. I just pick a song on YouTube, I follow along with it. It keeps my timing, my speed and everything even, you know, as I'm learning each part, and that's just how I do it. And you notice I'm playing straight like this while I'm teaching it. That's all you want. And this thing will go from there. It'll start playing the actual bass lines that it needs to play. So the simpler the better when you're teaching it, because that's, like I said, I'm just going like that. So okay, well, I hope that helped out a little bit. This, like I said, this is the way I learn these songs. Some of them come easy. This one came easy. There's some songs where I try to break them down a little bit more, and it gets to be a little bit detailed. I'll have like 3 parts sometimes. It all depends. But I try to keep it 2-part, because yeah, then you got to really concentrate. Unless you sequence the song. And if you look in the manual, you'll understand what I'm saying by sequence. You push this button down and then say, here's your verse, here's your chorus that I just recorded, and you push this down, and then you push that down, and then you push that down again. What's going to happen is it's going to remember that sequence, so it'll play that verse once, play that once, and it'll go back to that once, and then it'll end the song. Or you can just keep going over and over and over and over and it will memorize those from here on out. And it's going to this SD card, and you can record up to 12 songs, or you know, or replay them. Like if you're playing out somewhere, that's how you would decide which song you want to play. So that's why you need a book, you know, and say number 1 is such and such a song, number 2 would be such and such a song, etc., etc. And then once you blow through those 12 songs, you pull the SD card out, put another one in that's preloaded with some songs that you come up with through the Trio Manager. And then, you know, like I play an average of 3 sets, and 12 songs are perfect for each set. Because like I said, with this, I can drag these songs out as long as I want. You're not stuck with a 3-minute song or a 3-minute, 12-second song. You can just keep running this. So that's what I like about this. But, you know, I carry like 3 or 4 SD cards with me, a nice little holder. I don't know what I did with it, but I got a little holder. It's like this right here. You can get them pretty cheap on eBay or Amazon. Just keep them in there. Take them with you. You know, they're watertight. And then when you get done with the first set, during your break, you pop the SD card out, put in set 2, and now you've got another 12 songs that you can click through. That's it, and it works perfect. I've been doing this for quite a while, and it works perfect. I will emphasize, again, to get the foot sweats, they're only about 35 bucks through Amazon. Sometimes you can get them used, and I wouldn't hesitate to do that because you can't. They're pretty bulletproof, and so I wouldn't have any problems with. I mean, shoot, I've seen these as little as 15 bucks, 20 bucks, but it's worth it to get it. So, okay, enough rambling. Hope you got something out of this. I'll be coming out with another video after a while. I'm not sure how fast, but I'm not that good at editing or, you know, quit rambling. I don't claim to be an expert. I just thought I would let somebody in on how I learn these songs. So, alright, we'll catch everybody later. This is New Year's Eve. This is Christmas Eve 2023. Nice and quiet around the house right now. That's why I'm even doing this. So, you guys have a good day. We'll see you later.